Greetings and welcome to third session on unit number 6, dimensional analysis and simulative. This session, we are going to discuss one numerical, and we are going to solve one numerical using a Buckingham Pi theorem. Buckingham Pi theorem, the statement as well as the explanation part, and how to select the repeating variable, that part we already covered in previous session, that is session number 2. Now this session, we are going to see step by step how to develop a correlation, how to develop an equation using the number of variables. So we uh, see with the help of a numerical also all these steps. So this is a numerical that the resistance are experienced by a partially submerged body, depends upon the velocity v, length of the body L, viscosity of the fluid mu, density of the fluid rho, and gravitational acceleration g. Obtain a dimensionless expression for R. Now, this is a physical problem or physical phenomena which depicts or which describe the number of variables involved. In this particular statement, the dependent variable is also given. So such kind of numerical, or also we can, any physical phenomena we can judge, and we can identify the number of variables involved. So this is the physical phenomena related with the submerged bodies. Submerged body, it may be an aeroplane, it may be a ship, it may be a boat, or it may be a building as well. But as so it may be a building also, because these are the flow parameters are given. Now, for solution, there are certain steps. So generally for solving this problem, there are 5 steps you're supposed to follow. And if you follow the 5 steps, almost in 5th step, you'll get the answer. So first step, that we have to write the equation in terms of variables and pi terms. So there are 3 equations in this particular step, 2 equations in terms of variables and 1 equation in terms of pi. Now from the statement, the resistance R is a function of velocity, length, viscosity, density, and gravitational acceleration. So we can write, because R is a dependent variable. So first expression, that is dependent variable in terms of independent variable. We can write R is a function of velocity, length, viscosity, then density, and gravitational acceleration. Same equation can be written in another form by taking all terms on one side. So F1 is a function of R, V, L, mu, rho, G, that is equal to 0. So total number of variables here, if you count the total number of variables, so don't do the mistakes that counting the number of variables from equation 1, because if you count here, you'll get 5. So always equation 2 is written in order to count the number of variables involved, because all the variables we have taken on one side. So always count the number of variables from equation 2. So in this case, the number of variables are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 number of variables involved. Number of fundamental dimensions altogether. So most of the cases for the fundamental dimensions, especially if the problem is related with the fluid mechanics, then the number of variables has to be 3, because mass, length, and time. So just check randomly. Suppose if R is there, mass is there, M is there, means M, L, T, and theta. These are the 4 fundamental dimensions. Velocity itself, length, and time is involved. So all 3 itself, in first 2 parameter only, all 3 fundamental dimensions are covered. So just make sure there is no temperature term involved, because temperature term, the 4th fundamental dimension is there, that is theta. So in this particular case, number of fundamental dimensions, that is M is equal to 3. Thus the number of dimensionless terms, pi term, that is n minus m, that is again equal to 6 minus 3, that is equal to 3. Then we can write equation 2 can be written in terms of pi terms. So there are 3 pi terms, that is pi 1. F1 is a function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, that is equal to 0. So only we write equation 2 in terms of pi term. So this bracket that is dimensional quantities are replaced by dimensionless quantity, that is pi1, pi2, pi3, that is equal to 0. This is step 1. So in the step 1, we have to write the 3 expressions based on the given information. Now step 2 is important step, that is selection of repeating variables. So out of 6 variables, we have to choose 3 variables, that is because 3 fundamental dimensions, so we have to choose 3 repeating variables. So 3 repeating variables are to be selected, 3 variables are to be selected as a repeating variable. As far as possible, the first guideline, dependent variable should not be selected as a repeating variable, so R eliminates from the race of repeating variables. Out of remaining, one must be a geometric property. So there is only one geometric property, so L we can select as a geometric property. So no other geometric properties, so one repeating variable is finalized, that is length. Then out of the one must be a flow property. As per the flow properties are concerned, velocity and gravitational acceleration is there. So that second property, flow property, that gravitational acceleration or velocity. The repeating variables, now instead of that, we select V as a flow property as far as possible. If any other flow property is there, then we can select V. Even if you select G, it doesn't matter. Now, in this case, we select V. And third one, that is a fluid property. But if the density is there, no need to see other property. There are 2 fluid property, that is density and viscosity, but we select rho. So this requirement made by selecting, so we select L, V, and rho are the repeating variables. So geometric, then flow, and the fluid property. The repeating variables themselves should not form a dimensionless group and must contain jointly. So all fundamental dimensions equal to 3. Dimensions L, V, and rho, all together they have all 3 fundamental dimensions exist. So L, V, rho are also a dimension, and also no dimensionless group is formed by them, that care to be taken. So finally, we select the repeating variables, that is one geometric, one flow, and one density, that is a fluid property. So we can select G also for as a flow property. Even we arrive with the same equation, doesn't matter. But and we can select mu also as a fluid property. But the problem becomes slightly complicated because in mu all 3 dimensions are present. So especially while resolving the problem, it becomes complicated. So as far as density is there, they give preference to the density as a fluid property. So these are the repeating variables. So this is step number 2. Very important steps to select the repeating variables. So as far as possible, you follow the guidelines of selecting of repeating variables. This is step 2. Now step 3, there are 3 repeating variables and 4 variables involved in each pi term. Now we write the expression of each pi term, that is equal to each pi term contains m plus 1 variables. So this is, first of all, we'll write all the expression, that is 3 pi terms are there, pi1, pi2, pi3. Then we assign the repeating variable LVG in each case. Then remaining variables, that is LVG, that first R dependent variable, then V is already there as a repeating variable, L is already there, that repeating variable. Then mu select, O is there in repeating variable, then G. So then we assign non-repeating variables. Then we assign the powers A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Now call this equation number 4. This is equation number 4. This is step number 3, that is expression of pi terms. Now we solve these pi terms for calculation of the constants A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, etc. by using a principle of dimensional homogeneity. Now solution of pi terms. Now each pi term is solved by principle of dimensional homogeneity as follows. So first pi term we consider, that is pi 1 is equal to L raised to A1, B raised to B1, rho raised to C1. Now we write the expressions in terms of dimensions. So we write the dimensions of each term. So pi 1 dimensions we have m raised to 0, n raised to 0, t raised to 0. L dimensions, that is length, is L raised to A1. So dimensions of velocity, Lt raised to -1 raised to B1. Dimension of density, that is M L raised to -3, that is kg per. So these dimensions you can write on the basis of units. You can construct this dimension there itself if you know the unit. R is force, so write the dimension of force, that is MLT raised to -. You can easily construct, that is kg meter per second square. So kg meter per second square, that is t raised to -2. So this way we can write the dimensions. So the above equations, that is the equation. So these are the dimensions of the each term, dimensions of the term, physical quantities. Now these constants we have to calculate by equating the power. So equating power for exponents m, l, t respectively we get. So first we equate the power of m. So power of m on the LHS side, all the powers are 0, mlt. So 0, that is equal to, just check where is L. So if equating power of m, so that is m is there in only this, that is C1, C1 plus 1. So immediately we get the value of C1, that -1. Then equating power of t. So generally the second step you can use that equating power of t and then equate, because most of the problems L terms are more. So first you apply m, then you apply t, because from m you are already getting the value of C1. And from t is also in most of the cases, there is only one. You can easily calculate the values of constants. So t is equal to 0. So minus b1, because -1 into b1, and t is there, that is -2. So b1 is equal to -2. So putting the value of b1, so now we equating the power of L. So this sequence, if you follow, you will get the answer easily, because if we equate the power of m, we get the value of C1. If we equate the power of t, we get the value of B1. Now equating the power of L, on a left-hand side, it is 0 as usual. So that is A1, then minus, then B1, that is L power is B1, then minus 3C1 plus this particular bracket, there is only one value. If it is no power, means 1. That is L raised to 1. That is 1. Now we can put the values of B1 is equal to -2 here, and C1 is equal to -3. We can calculate all the constants. So C1 is equal to -1, B1 is equal to -2, and putting C1 and B1 in this expression, we can calculate A1, that is -2. Substituting A1, B1, C1 in pi 1 terms, we can develop expression, that is A1 is, so L raised to A1 means A1 power we can write -2. B raised to B1 means B1 power is -2. Rho raised to C1, that is C1 power, that is -1 into R. If we rearrange the terms, because all these have a negative powers, so all these terms goes in the denominator. So pi 1 is equal to R upon rho L, because rho power is 1. L power is rho L square V square, because this is a printing mistake, that is L square V square. So rho L square V square is pi 1 term. Similarly, same practice or same procedure we follow for the pi 2. So first of all, we'll write the dimensions, all the dimensions. Almost these dimensions are constant, so we can write, copy this as it is. Only the last term, that is viscosity, that we can have. Then again, equating the powers of m, L, T, we can calculate the constants A2, B2, C2. And putting all these constants in this expression, in this case, we are getting A2 value, B2 and C2, all values we are getting negatives. And mu, there is no power. So pi2 is equal to VL by mu. This is pi2 term. Then pi3 term, we can again similarly solve. We can write the expressions of pi3, then dimensions of each parameters, then equating the exponents m, l, t respectively. First of all, you equating the power of m, then t, then l. This sequence, if you follow, you'll get the constants easily. That is, in this case, the A3, B3, and C3. Substituting all the constants. So here, the density is insignificant because the density, that is, the C3 value is coming 0. So that means the density is insignificant for pi. So we put the values of A1, A3, that is 1, that is B3, that is -2, and C3 0. So we get this expression, that is GL upon V square. Then the final step, that is step number 5, that is development of functional relation. So for that, substituting pi1, pi2, pi3 in equation 3, we get. So they beg me a pardon, here it is L square. So F1 is a function of R upon rho L square V square, comma mu upon rho LV, and GL upon V square. These parameters, we can rearrange it. So rho upon L square V square, that is a function of psi mu upon rho LV, or GL upon V square. The same expression can be written in different ways. We can rearrange this R upon rho L V square. So generally, rho L V by mu is the dimensionless. If you know the dimensionless numbers, that is the next session we are going to study the dimensionless numbers. So usually you can understand the inverse of this is the Reynolds number, that is rho L V by mu. And inverse of this is the velocity dimensionless number, V upon under root LG. Again, taking square root, it doesn't change the dimensions. This is also dimensionless. So you can rearrange the dimensionless terms or multiply by constant also. So even if you multiply or divide by under root 2g, that the dimensions are same. So the above step has been made on the postulate that reciprocal of pi terms and its square root is non-dimensional. So reciprocal of this and the square root is non-dimensional. Finally, if we take only R on one side, because it is question it is asked, R develop equation for R. So we keep R on the left hand side and remaining term on the right hand side. This is rho L square V square. So we already seen that L square comes because this is a printing mistake. Beg me a pardon. But understanding of the procedure is important in this case. So, rho L square V square, it's a function of rho L V by mu and V by X. This is the final expression. So this way we can develop the functional relationship amongst the variables involved. So that means R is directly proportional to this parameter, R is inversely proportional to the viscosity, and inversely proportional to the length as well. So this way we can develop a functional relationship. So that's it from this particular session. So from this session, you will come to know how to develop correlation using Buckingham pi theorem. Basically, there are only 5 steps of Buckingham pi theorem. First step is to write the expressions in terms of variables and pi term. Second step is to select the repeating variables. Third step is to write the expressions of the pi term. Fourth step is to the solution of pi terms, each pi term using principle of dimensional homogeneity. And fifth term, that is the development of the functional relationships. So if you remember these all 5 steps, and if you go sequentially, you won't find any difficulty for solving any other problems. So no need to take other problems, because if you see other problems also, the procedure remains same. So for practice, you can take any problems from the book and follow these 5 steps and check whether you are getting the final answer. Yes, there are some rearrangement is required depending upon the problem statement. In most of the problem statement, through that the statement is given. So from that you come to know which repeating, because in most of the problems it is very difficult to choose the repeating variable, especially geometric parameters, because in most of the numerical geometric parameters are more than one, or also flow parameters are also more than one. So under that circumstances, you can see what is expected, and if the dimension parameter, those parameters repeat in each dimensionless group, that you choose as a repeating variable. So from the final outcome also, you can choose the repeating variable as well. So you will come to know this technique. So if you see them, there are, you can refer R.K. Rajput. There are almost 20 to 25 problems are there. And if you choose this particular procedure and solve the problems, you get mastered in that. So as per if the theory exam is there, so for theory exam, the numerical on Buckingham pi theorem is there. So has to be there. So there is no exam, no previous exam you will find exam question paper. You'll find the question paper without this Buckingham pi theorem. So that's it from this particular session. Thank you very much.